Today on the Ave Podcast, I'm joined by DJ Keo as we break down the 20th anniversary of T.I.'s classic album, King. We break down some of our favorite tracks, our 4 favorite tracks to be precise. We also touch on the rising star status of T.I. in the early to mid 2000s. Before this album came out, his impact on the South's takeover of hip hop overall. We touch on the lasting impact of What You Know. You'll understand why when we get into the topic. We break down T.I.'s star rise between him getting into movies and where things went astray a little bit. Plus, of course, with the phenomenon of the Michael Jackson biopic movie, we reminisce on the days of the global impact of Michael Jackson, his impact then and even now. And we just get into a whole discussion about Michael Jackson. We kind of go down memory lane a little bit, basically wax poetic on everything that happened with his impact in his career, plus much more. As always, South Sharav is available wherever you listen to podcasts. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, you can find me, including TuneIn Alexa, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can go and watch this episode of the South Sharav YouTube channel, which will be out a little bit later this afternoon. I'll get to that later at the end of the episode. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Give me all those 5 stars like you owe me money. Seriously, I want the 5 stars, please. Thank you. It always says drives the show forward. So give me it. I want it, man. Give it to me. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Thank you. Be nice here. Seriously, the 5. Click it right now. You're listening, right? 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyways, you got it. You got it. And make sure you go over to the catalog over at southsharav.com. Once again, that is southsharav.com. All right? It's the Ave Podcast with Cal C on South Sharav Radio. King of the South.
Welcome to the Ave Podcast with Cal C on South Sharav Radio.
Welcome to the Ave Podcast, where I am looking to rebring at least part of the gang, part of the music gang that I like to have on the Ave Podcast. I'm joined by a friend of the podcast. If we're picking up friends in the Sprinter, this guy would definitely be in the van with a drink in his hand. As a DJ producer who's done some very enjoyable. Yeah, there you go. See, there you go.
Fair enough, right? Fair enough.
He's done some very enjoyable episodes with me in the past years, including recently because somebody brought this up to me. The Diddy Bop episode, which still gets love to this day. About that one was wild. That was a wild back episode. In the catalog after this. That one was wild.
That was wild.
Please welcome DJ Keo to the show. How you doing today, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. No problem, man. Listen, man, we were just talking offline about this. I can't believe. Like, we getting old, man. I don't want to say we getting old. I don't want to put it on us like that. But I'm just like, dang, I can't believe this is 20 years.
We're seasoned,
this album came out.
We're seasoned, right?
Jeez, like well seasoned.
Well seasoned.
Holy cow, man! I can't believe this album is 20 years old, and I'm talking about the 20th anniversary of T.I.'s King album, which and I want to make sure I get some of these notes right here. I'm going to read this off. It's certified platinum. It's won awards. Grammy nominated records are on it. It's his most highly received album on top of a platform of a consistently high quality catalog of work. It was a de facto soundtrack for the start of his movie career. It's one of the most important albums for the South this century, and it's one of the classic hip hop albums of the 21st century. And more importantly, the reason why I want to acknowledge this because we're talking about the state of music right now. T.I.'s got a banger right now, the "Let 'Em Know" song that's circulating all over the world right now. It seems like
I was shocked, right? It's not good.
Yeah, man, it's dope. Like it's not. You can't even deny it. It's a certified hit. He's sitting on a hit, which at this point, it's like one of them songs that like and when you remember 2026, it's going to be one of those songs that you remember.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of fitting that like 20 years ago, this guy was literally, in the middle of his prime, swinging for the fences.
He was
and
the king, man.
Now he's back here hitting another home run.
Yeah, he's the king of the South.
Yeah, king
right?
of the South.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing about it was, it wasn't
wild.
just a bragging point. There was no question about this. T.I. was running the South at a certain point in time. There's no question. Nobody could be like, nah. There was no debate about it. It was pretty much, T.I.'s running this.
Yeah, no, it's like we were talking about this. I mean, a couple of weeks back, but I'm like, yo, T.I.'s nice, man. Like say what you want about rappers in the South, and and some of them get like this, like a bad rap in terms of how they can spit and stuff and how they can rhyme. Yo, T.I. he has been putting out quality work for 20 years, like 20 plus years. Even the latest albums that he puts out, it may not be, of course, it's not going to be the prime stuff that you're putting out back in the day, but it's good.
Yeah. Well, because T.I. is blessed with two things. He had good production and he can rap. And so, like, people from the South, like, they have banger beats, horrible rappers. Or they're good rappers. They couldn't figure out how to turn this thing into something else. T.I., he always had good singles that you couldn't question. It was like, oh, that's a banger. You play in his car, like, the bass was right. He's consistent with that. And I think from the beginning, when he had the song with the Neptunes, and it was a Beanie Man. Who's on the song with him? His very first song that came out.
Like this big, like his very first one. Like,
that was
I'm
the
serious.
First one. I'm serious.
Boy.
I think it's.
Oh man, I can't remember that.
I got. Hold on. I got notes here. I got to go look it up. I think it's some serious. Yeah, it was the first song that he put out. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the song. It had Beanie Man on the hook. I'm pretty sure.
I remember that for some reason.
Yeah. Beanie Man was the hook. It was Neptunes. Neptunes did the beat.
What was it called?
I'm serious. That was the song. And Neptunes did the beat.
Oh, I'm serious. Oh,
yeah. Yo, you said it. You said it right. But like, here's the thing. Like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, this guy's nice. And I already liked the Neptunes. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, good connection here. Yeah, Beanie Man the hook. I was like, this guy's on point right at the gate.
Yeah,
and he was consistent with this. Every major album he put out, he had solid beats. He paid homage to the South for sure, but he was rapping bars on a lot of these songs with confidence, rather than I'm really high right now and I think I'm a good rapper. No, it was bars, these actual bars, and this guy had good beats. And listen, Nas struggles with this, right? Like, lots of rappers that are really good struggle with the good beats and good bars. Like, lots of good rappers struggle with it. This guy was consistent, and I don't think he gets enough credit for it, considering how long he's been doing it.
Yeah, he actually doesn't. He's one of the most consistent. Even the guys, honestly, for I guess if you want to call it the New Age South, the early to mid 2000s reign. Like, his peak may not have been as high as like Lil Wayne and some of these guys, and we'll get to them later. But he's definitely been the most consistent. He's definitely been the most consistent. He's got the most consistent body of work. There wasn't a time where we could say, like I said, not all these guys end up going to the extent that they've gone to. But I'm like, it's 20 years and he's still. Like, he has an album coming out, and I'm kind of like, I kind of want to hear it. If like,
I'm looking forward to
if Chad is not Chad, but Pharrell's producing some of this, and like, I kind of want to hear this.
Something's going to be good on it, no question. There's a lot of stuff, like, especially artists that have been around this long. Usually, they lose whatever that magic was, and they can't. They're struggling to keep it consistent and keep the thing. They don't know what the thing was that was great at the time. And I think T.I. has a very good ear for music, and he just spits bars.
He does.
And like in an area, because part of the country, let's be real here, they're not known for spitting bars, right? They're known for trend setting and being stylish and that kind of stuff, but they're not known for bars. And that's one of the reasons why I liked T.I. in the beginning, was because he was trying to spit. He was trying to let people know, I can rap too. And I think he had a chip on his shoulder for that. because he's like, yo, put me up there with Jay-Z and Nas. Like, what are we talking about here? And that's what I liked about him, because he's like, he does not get enough credit for this, man. That's the part that irritates me for this. Like, there's a lot of rappers in the South. I think probably Wayne is better than T.I. rapping. Like, there's no question about that. But I think Wayne is the other person from the South that cared about the bars, and Outkast. You can say they cared about the bars.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, like everybody else, it was like bars. I think we're good. The song sounds fine. Go back and do it over. No, we're good.
Rick Ross sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Devil in a New Dress. Like there's stuff where we were like, oh yeah, Ross put his foot in this thing. I would say I add Ross to that. Ross spits. My problem with Ross, and it's like Clips. They're so track minded on drugs that it kind of irritates me. Like the last Clips album was really good. Like the beats were phenomenal. And but I'm like, oh God, man. I can't flipping keys again. Like I can't. And again, he was trying to be like, oh, this is metaphors for life and all that stuff. But I was like, God, I don't want to hear that. Say something else besides drugs, man. Or you got a nice house. Say
You're 50.
Else. Yeah, I know. Like, say something else. Like, you're better than this. Because he can rap. Are we being real here? Yeah. Clips, both of them. Malice, both of them. He can rap. But
he can rap.
The flipping key stuff, and the same thing with Ross. That's why I don't like. With Wayne, I put Wayne and T.I. above everybody else, like by miles. And then I would add Clips and these guys in there. And Andre. I would put the top 3 on that level. And then everybody else is like below, but below for different reasons. Like Ice Cube can rap, but I don't look at Ice Cube's bars as like, oh, I gotta sit down. I can't believe you said that. He moves in silence like lasagna. Like yo, like G's moving silent like that. That's a bar, right? That's the bar you had to sit down. Like, wait a minute, the G is silent lasagna. Oh, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these guys, Ice Cube didn't say stuff like that. Ice Cube said stuff that was interesting, but it wasn't like holy crap. I gotta sit down, reevaluate my life right now, man. Like Wayne did that consistently. And T.I. does that to a degree too. And for sure, Outkast, I would say that with Andre, he did that too. Big Boy, yes and no. But Andre's a better lyricist than Big Boy. But like, I put those guys. Still nice. Yeah. Big Boy is absolutely nice. But I put those guys way up above everybody else from the South. And I don't think it's close. Like, I'll be honest. I'm sure you can make an argument for Razzcast and some of these guys in the South. They're in the LA thing, but like Razzcast didn't have that much music, man. For being real here,
it was nice for a period. Though.
He had stuff, and maybe who's the dude that was on 2000 with Dr. Dre? He's doing the hooks for everything. Exhibit. Okay. I keep adding to the list every time I'm done with this. I throw Exhibit in there. And everybody else is kind of like it plateaus out. But I'll throw Exhibit in there for sure. I'll throw Exhibit in there. But like, I never looked at those guys so like I gotta sit down and think about what he just said. And that's a difference maker, right? You know what I'm saying? That's a difference maker. And those guys, as far as music, it was good to some degree. Consistently, T.I. had bangers. Consistently. And anthems. He had bangers and anthems. Like, you throw those songs on, you be Care Bad or whatever. You put one of the T.I. songs on, everybody's like, okay. Consistently. You pick one at random, it still goes. Consistently.
So I wasn't like you. I didn't when he was doing I'm Serious. We got to get a Tahiti Treat sponsorship, by the way. But I
yeah, it's fire, man. I can't deny it. It's fire. I have a bunch of them. Do that as an adult, right?
No, but it's funny because I wasn't like you. I didn't get on when he was doing I'm Serious and stuff. I liked some of the stuff, but I wasn't on the T.I. bandwagon. I wasn't looking for him at his early stages and stuff. Even though, I started checking for him a bit when I heard 24. So when it was, I think that was was that I'm Serious or was that the trap?
No,
music?
that's
Whatever.
I think
the
that's
second
trap
one,
music.
whatever.
Listen, like I liked him, but
Trap
it was really
music,
good for Pharrell. I'm being honest. I was following Pharrell.
Yeah.
Doing stuff for Philadelphia.
Right.
There's other people up there. I like Chad and Pharrell, I should say. It wasn't just Pharrell, but I was following them. And I heard, I was like, oh, that's fire. And that's kind of cool. But put really sealed deal for T.I. for me was there's a Fast and Furious game, and he had the I think it wasn't Umbrella, not Rubber Band. I think it's Rubber Band Man. One of these songs.
That's the point I was just gonna make. It
was on the soundtrack. Yeah, it was on the soundtrack for one of the Fast games, Fast and Furious, but it was one of those racing games, and it came out around that time. And I was like, when I'm driving, I was like, what is this? And this is before we had iPhone, so I couldn't be like, let me go look it up, whatever. So I'm looking at like, what I'm playing the game. I'm like, what is this? This is fire. And that to me, that's what solidified it for me that I'm a fan of T.I. That game changed it for me because I played it so much. I can't remember what game it was.
Yeah.
It was Need for Speed. That's the game.
Oh, Need for Speed.
Need for Speed Underground, but 1 or 2. I think it was 2. But it was a Need for Speed game, and it was in the soundtrack. I remember I just kept playing it over and over. There's a Snoop song with, I forgot what the group was. And he had like some writer song or whatever, and then the T.I. song. And the rest of it was like rock and all this other stuff. But like they had 3 rap songs on there. And so I'm playing it, and they got the rock, and I hear the T.I. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me put my controller down right now. Oh, this is fire. And that's what that solidified for me. I was a fan of T.I. after that. That's still
you stole the words right out of my mouth. Because honestly, Rubber Band Man, when I first heard that, I was like, yo. And like a couple of things with that. David Banner is a good rapper, but he was an underratedly really good producer.
He was
underratedly really good producer.
Yin Yang Twins stuff he did. No, you don't get any credit for it. No,
man, he did some shit because I think like little was it not Little Twist, Little Flip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a pimp, like a pimp was crazy, right? Like that song was nuts. But to me, it wasn't even just the Rubber Band Man. So that song took off. But then when you saw the video, and all the celebrity, the cameos and the guest appearances and stuff in the video. If you remember, that's when I was like, yo, like, and the video was fly. I was like, yo, who?
You're like, yo, this guy's doing
I'm
it
like,
right
yo,
now.
I'm like, oh, this guy's known. And I mean, we got to say this, but like especially when the artists that we're not allowed to talk about, Puffy, that was when he showed up with his fur coat in the video. Yo, back then, that was a cosign. That was a cosign. Like, when he was in there, you were like, okay, like, yo, this guy's on another level.
Yeah, from being from the South, you needed the East Coast or the West Coast cosign because you're on an island by yourself. And a lot of people don't realize it because now there's no borders for rap music, like rap music, whatever. Back then, where you came from mattered a lot. And they didn't have the regional stuff was real regional. You couldn't get your stuff played on the radio in New York or any other place, Philadelphia. Nobody would play it. So if you're from Florida, you're playing your Uncle Luke Booty music. That didn't go anywhere. Outside of Florida, they didn't go anywhere. You got lucky. Every once in a while, there'd be a song, 69 Boys, one of these songs would get out. But generally, you were trapped in your region. So him getting the cosign for a lot of these artists to be in the video and be like, yo, that guy's for real, that changed the game for him. And I think that kind of took off the guardrails that were on the cultural part of the music because it was real regional back in the day. People, because today nobody thinks about it like that. Like Drake's being played anywhere, or these guys from the South are playing anywhere. Migos all over the place, whatever. Back then, Your region controls everything about you. You could be a platinum selling artist from your little region. Nobody's ever heard of you. And Master P is a perfect example of that. Selling all kind of he's got a roster of platinum artists, and they were like, "Who the hell's Master P?" Until he got the one ice cream song, and that was it. But like, it's the thing. The region was such a big deal about that, and T.I, because he can spit bars, the East was like, I like this guy. Because like I'll be honest, I was 100% purist for East Coast back then. I was 100%. Yeah. I'm trying to hear nothing from anywhere else. Maybe a couple songs from the West Coast, but anywhere else I could care less. And like that, that kind of bridged the gap for me to check out other people because I didn't care. I honestly wasn't even looking at it. It's such a big deal. Like he was a crossover artist for like the regions, and nobody really thinks about it like that. But like that was such a big deal.
It's funny though because he came on at the perfect time though. Because you think of it, his notoriety at that point was it was almost like a roller coaster, and he kind of jumped on like right before it got to the apex, and then it just the South really took over. But you gotta think about it because back then when he jumped on like. Outkast. I mean, we did a pod on this about the classic double album that they pulled off and won Grammys for and all that. Like that's a legendary album. Ludacris was starting to really bubble. You know what I mean? Like actually, no, he was taking off at that time.
Yeah, he was taking off. But like the thing is though, it wasn't it wasn't open to everybody. There's only a few people, and depending what label you were on, because T.I.'s on Atlantic and he got no support over there. Atlantic is zero support. But you got like Outkast was on Arista Jive, and they're part of that the family, BMG family, so they got help. Atlantic was Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers WEA East. That that's New York stuff, and Virginia because they had Missy Elliott was there, and Buster was on there too. We were on there too, but that's the whole other thing. But like, this was it was the East Coast stuff, right? And they catered to those artists. They helped them, especially if you were in a DJ pool and you're trying to get like certain artists. They didn't get any play outside of their region. Nobody's pushing records all the way in Toronto from Atlanta. Like this is not happening, right. And this firsthand. It's not happening. They don't care. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to hear it here. Nobody wants to hear it down there. Like it's just not happening. Yeah. It's such a big deal.
Well, I was gonna say, but the South though, it's like it was at a point where it was like they were kind of playing for keeps because I mean, and I think Keo, I know we're talking about different episodes we're gonna do this year. Like I gotta dedicate an episode to Lil Jon at some point this year because whether you love it or hate crunk music, man, he was everywhere.
Game changer for the South. He's a game changer.
Everywhere. He was everywhere at that point. And I mean, I think even by the time, he came out with Rubber Band Man and stuff, it was like people at that point was like, okay, the South, like the prophetic
Andre
speech, the South got something to say. They were saying something at that point.
Yeah. No, it was the bass.
They were definitely saying something.
Yeah, it was for sure. It was the bass, like how they did put their songs together. Because East Coast is like samples and they're doing musical things, and the West Coast is like bass lines and all this the funk stuff, and the South was just bass. That was it. It's the 808 TR 808, the claps and the bass. That's all you got, and then maybe a little some sounds on it, but that's all they had. They weren't doing anything else different. Outkast is like, I think Outkast was inspired by East and West, and so like they took bits from everything, but like it was musical. Those guys played music, right? Yeah. No one looked at Outkast as like, oh, these guys are just regular crunk things. They're a anomaly on a different planet. AT aliens. They're on a different planet, so you couldn't compare them to anything else. But these guys had the sound of the South, and they brought that sound to everybody. Which wasn't a thing before. Yeah, I used to go to Atlanta all the time, and man, I'm like, yo, what the hell is this on the radio? I'm like, I've never heard this a day in my life. I listen to music. I've never heard this in my life. Like, And they're like, this is so-and-so for whatever. I'm like, yo, what the? Radio's just different. I miss that. I like that it was regional more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because the
regional stuff back then was dope. It was dope like because you had a chance to experience new things that you never heard before.
Exactly. You go travel down south and you're in a new world. It's a brave new world for you. And then now it's just a mush of everything's the same. I like the fact that the different regions had different music culturally.
I want to tell a quick story about, like, I guess this is when T.I got solidified for me. Mm-hmm. So, I've talked about this club in the past, this club in DC called Dream Nightclub. And I even did an episode about this a few years back. Mm-hmm. But it was one of those trips that I took to DC. I can't remember which one. It might have been my first trip, actually, because it's probably around that time. But like, because this was around the time when Little John was like raining at that point, right? Yeah, you go to the clubs and you're just like, yo, it was just nuts. So I remember when Bring 'Em Out came out, we was in Dream and Bring 'Em Out, DJ dropped this song. And you, Keo, you know this because you traveled and you're a DJ. Some songs can turn you when you see 2,000 to 3,000, 4,000 people going insane on a record.
This girl's twerking, man. Like,
it completely change your mind on a song. And don't get me wrong, I liked Bring 'Em Out.
Yeah,
I liked it. I thought Bring 'Em Out was cool. It was dope.
It was a fun party song.
You know what I mean? All that. It was it was dope. It was dope. When you see 4,000 people losing their mind, women twerking, bottles popping to this when this song dropped, I was like, yo, I jumped like right in the middle of the crowd and lost my ever loving.
Because for the people that they were there for that, Bring 'Em Out was one of those songs that was like the song that you bring girls. Like if you had like a pageant or whatever, and the girls come on stage, that was the song you bring them out to. You bring them out. They dance, they whine, whatever you're gonna do. That's the song you do to, and it was a big deal, right? It was a very big deal. You just play the instrument. You have to play the whole song, just the instrumental with the chorus. That was enough.
Yep.
People just lost their
mind.
Was
it. That was it.
Phenomenal. It was a great time to be alive, right? I'll put it like that.
Yo, when I saw people just going like,
and
then you just have to find a girl to hold on.
This is our culture, man. It's our culture. Right? What else to do, right? That's what it is, right?
Tell the truth, man. Just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. But honestly, no. But like that song, I was like, yo. Like when you say, and you know this, like when you see that much people going crazy on one song, all of a sudden you go from like, that song is okay to like, you know what? Yeah, maybe I wasn't thinking about this song properly.
Yeah.
No, if you heard about the song properly. This song is fire.
If you heard on the radio, you'd be like, oh, this is a nice song, or it's an okay song, whatever. To see what people did when the song came out changed how you viewed the song. It was like what's the Lil Wayne's Lil Jon song, like to the window to the Get Low. That Get Low. When Get Low came out, you're like, oh, this is something else. This is something completely.
This is something else.
He's just doing. It wasn't even a rap. It was like he's doing like he's yodeling. He's just saying words.
Like an anthem.
It's an anthem. You put words together. That's what that was. That culturally, that feeling of like just people having a grand time, having fun, which I miss directly from music right now. We don't have that anymore. Nobody has fun with their songs. There's very few, and that's I think 100% dancing and having fun to rap music is what's missing. Like it's
100%
is a giant hole in the rap game in 2026. Is ridiculous. But like these two songs, like that kind of the feeling you got when it came on, and just like, I got bills tomorrow, but like, yo, we're at the club right now. He's gonna turn up with some bottles. Like this is fun, right? You put your cares away, you're just gonna have fun and dance. And I miss that so much, man. And it's the thing is that you can't compare it and you can't relate. I think maybe for Drake, like Motto was maybe one of those songs where like it's a thing that you put on and everybody's just like, oh, okay, we're gonna have fun right now. Like it's one of the few songs like current or modern, I should say, that it has that feeling of what that was. And yeah, it's just you can't compare it to anything else. And it's the thing, this chokehold that the South had. The East and the West never had stuff like this. Like the anthems that just change your life when you hear it. I can't like, especially like as far as with the East Coast, where like, you know, Biggie, you know, they all had great songs that people love to this day. They didn't have songs that turned your brain off when you heard it, and you're like, "Oh, this is great! Like this is what we do." I know people in the comment sections could be like, "Well, what about this? What about that?" You have to experience it, man. Like you can hear it today on Spotify and be like, "Oh, that's fine." You had to experience it when this thing came out. It was different.
Yeah, it was insane. Like watching that. Like I still remember to this day just looking at the crowd like, oh my god. Yeah, like it was like a bomb went off. It was insane. Mm-hmm. I never like that was one of the few first times I ever saw experience like at least for like that much people, and it wasn't a concert. Like it was a club. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, this is insane. And it was smart what he did too, because that was right around the time where Jay-Z was retiring, which of course you know he didn't.
He retired.
He quote unquote retired. But at that time, like he was about to retire, was retiring. So it was like that was a way to like, you know, to lock into that hook, and you know what I mean, and and just rein in from that period. So it was smart. It was a smart move by them.
I give it to Swizz, man. I give it to Swizz. He knows what he's doing, right? You don't get enough credit. Yeah. People don't like him for everything. Swizz is monumental for a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff would exist without him.
He did. And so that's what I mean. So when when King album dropped now in 2006, like low key, I was really proud of T.I. because he talked about himself being the king of the South, but like he backed it up. Like this was, and it's funny because I wish I found this. I think I'm just remembering this now, but I'm like, in the world of Napster and SoulSeek, I bought this album. I spent the $20 and bought this album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was worth it. It was totally worth it.
What you know about that when it came out, man? You understand.
Well, save your thoughts on that song. Okay. Save your thoughts on that record. All right, save it.
All right. We're jumping ahead right now.
But you know what though? No. But the album though was like it came close to what I like to call the to me a classic album has to be at least 75 cents on the dollar. And what I mean by that is like at least 3/4 of the songs, 3/4 of the songs on the album have to be at least good to great for it to be a classic. You know what I mean? And then there can't be more than 25% fillers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything more than that it's no longer a classic album.
Yeah.
But like he kind of fit that old school mode where it was like, because we go back and listen to that album, most of the album is like, even some of the fillers, you're like, yo, this like there's a couple of fillers that maybe you skip through, but I'm like, for the most part, a lot of that album was dope.
Yeah, generally, I didn't really skip through a lot of the stuff on the album. There's a lot of good songs.
No,
and he heavy loaded the front of it too, which helped. There's bangers at the very beginning. When you put that thing on, you're like, oh, the Why You Want It, like all this stuff. Like it's there's good songs at the very beginning, so you had a good feeling about when he got to the other songs. They're like, oh, it's okay. He started off strong, like very strong. Fire. Yeah. There's no question about that. And I like that he had a slew of different types of producers. He had Neptunes, he had Swizz on there. He had he had the song with Travis Barker. Kanye did a song. It's a slew of stuff, right? And he's doing it in the way that East Coast people did, like a Biggie or Jay-Z would have done.
Yeah.
He's viewing the album like how these guys do it, but he's making it for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like the types of songs he picked. Like what's that? What's the DJ Toomp or whatever his name is? That guy, he only made fire, man. He only made fire. I don't know any wax songs from him. I've never heard a wax song from him once, like in my lifetime. That dude, like, yo, when he put his bass line on those songs, I'm like, oh, okay. All right. That's what we're doing right now. Like, there's no question about it. And like, let's just say, like, he had really good producers, and they were all over the place. Because Pharrell's Virginia, Swizz is Yonkers, New York. He had Kanye, Chicago. Yeah, like he's a bunch of people all over the place.
Just Blaze, New Jersey.
Blaze. Yeah, Just Blaze. But like he's giving them the South style stuff, but they're from all these other places, and he made stuff that fit him. Because it's one of the best things about him was he picked beats that made sense for him. He didn't just get a beat that was like, oh, this is popular. Because this is the thing. I'll tell you this: when you shop music for record labels, they're like, make me a song like so and so. I want one of those, rather than give me something that'll fit this artist. They're like, forget all that. I won't hear that.
Right.
Make me a thing like this thing that's out right now, exactly like it but different, so it don't get sued. That's the only thing they care about. Yep. Make me one more of these, and it'll be you would be in the studio listening music, and it'd be like 20 songs back to back that all sound the same. And you're like, what am I supposed to do with this as an artist? Like, they're trying to make you make garbage. So as an artist for T.I. to go through that, because Atlantic is filled with bums, right? I'll just say that, right? There's good people that work there. There was also bums at the time. And they had no vision, all right? Trust me, I know this because I shot music to them. I didn't know this for a fact, all right? I tried to shop music to them. There's a lot of stupid people there and a lot of good people. I would say that there's good people at the label, but dumb people too. And they had vision for him. They were like, yo, give me fire. That's different. Regional, feels good. There's some soul to the music. It's not just hand claps and TR-808s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got a good mixture of stuff. And I think that's what worked for him. All of the from Urban Legend to the Tip versus TIP, like what was the one after that? Paper. What's the album
Paper
after?
Trail. There's Paper Trail after this album. I think. Paper Trail. Yeah.
He had a bunch of different stuff, so he couldn't. You want to pigeonhole him as he's a South Atlanta rapper, right? You want to look at him just from the South, but you couldn't because he spits bars. And he's got music that sounds different. It sounds like he had big boy music from big boy artists and producers. And like I think that's the thing that solidified him. That's why he took over the South so easily. Because he wasn't trying to sound like everybody else. And I respect him for honestly, I respect him for it. And I'm an East Coast guy to my core, right? I hated the West Coast stuff for a long time. I picked Biggie over Tupac, right? I was 100% on that side, right? And T.I. was like, yo, I mess with this guy. Yo. He's from the South. I don't care. I like this. I like it.
Yeah, no, it's stuff was fire. What? Okay, without putting what you know on that list, because this is one category, what are your top 4 songs from this album? We'll go track for track. Top 4.
I got notes.
And you don't have to rank them. Don't have to rank them. You don't have to rank them.
Hold on. I gotta get back to my notes. All right, so,
it's hard, right?
Yeah. Hold on. I know. I got a thing. I would say front and back, the Manny Fresh joint.
Oh boy,
I would say that was number 1 on my thing. I would say Talking to You, the Just Blaze song. Because he bodied. That was a bloodbath what that song was. That was a battle rap song.
Yep.
And he called people out. He called a few people out, named them by name, and that beat was fire, man. When that beat started with the and like, oh, okay. This guy's gonna name people.
Perfect trunk rattling beat.
Yeah. I like the top back other Manny Fresh song. I'm a big fan of Manny Fresh, right? And I would say, hold on. I would say the last song I would say is maybe the Bankhead song, the DJ Toomp song. I'll put the other if we can't add that, because that would be my number 1. All right. But if I can't add that, I would put these other songs.
Our list is kind of similar because our front back too. Because I mean that was that was an ode to UGK, right?
Yeah, that's the UGK.
But that listen, like T.I rides that rhythm, you know, or as the Jamaicans say, rhythm. He rides that rhythm.
Yeah. Oh, he's all over that.
Yeah, no.
It's the first song of the album. You hear that, you're like, oh, okay, all right. I like what this is going.
It's actually the second. It's actually the second. Because you remember,
you're right.
If you remember, Pigback is the first one.
Yeah,
which was phenomenal too.
I still skip over to get to this. Front Back was so fire. I skipped over that song to get to it. That song was good, but I was like, Front Back right now.
Front Back is fire. Front Back is fire, and it's funny because you made a good point. Manny Fresh is on that. He's him. I would say him. Easy Mo B, High Tech, Battle Cat. You can even say guys like David Banner. There's a few producers that are eating 2 plates of food at the underrated barbecue brunch.
Absolutely. Battle Cat is one of these producers that, because he's making similar songs, but they're all fire. This is the vibe of it.
Right.
It's the West Coast vibe. He's got those big claps, and whatever that bass line is, it's fire. Whatever it is, whatever that bass line is, just random bass line, fire. But like Battle Cat doesn't get enough credit for that stuff, especially the stuff he did with the stuff he did with Snoop and
most of the stuff he did with Snoop was home runs.
Cousin, damn it,
Daz,
not Daz, Corrupt. Sorry.
Oh, Corrupt.
Yeah. The songs that Battle Cat did with Corrupt, fire. Absolute fire. You don't get enough credit for that. Like, you put a tear in your eye, fire, man. That's a whole other topic, man.
No, you're right. But Manny Fresh, all this to say, Manny Fresh doesn't get enough props for his production skills. Because, I mean, he doesn't get enough props for the impact that he put for Cash Money. Mm-hmm. But as a producer outside of them, he has some stuff that like people don't even realize that he did. That was like we wouldn't know it was him, and you're like, "Yo, this is dope." Like this is fire. But
that honestly, as a DJ, that's why I liked him, because he had songs that if people didn't even know what it was, I could put it on, and people were like, "I'm gonna dance to this." Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he just had that. Like, it's the because it's for Louisiana. He has the booty clap thing, whatever it is. Well, I forgot what they call it. There's a term for it. But like that style of music with the 808s and stuff like that is just. And it's got the hi hats, so it's like it's going fast, and whatever it is, it just rides so well. And everybody's on it. It sounds good. Like, it doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah. And on top of that too, right? Because it's the work that he's done. As a perfect example, the work that he did on this album. Because then he also did Top Back. Yeah, that's another one that's on my list too.
Yeah,
right. And it's the same. It's the same elements. It's Manny Fresh led production. T.I.'s riding, spitting fire on this. Yeah, but the beat to me is actually harder.
Yeah,
it's actually harder than
And
the beat is crazy.
Thing fits so well.
Oh, the beat is fire. The way it starts, you're like, yo, this is. I'm like, I remember getting to this point of the album, being like, yo, what did I just buy? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah, I remember back then I had my longboat. I had my Chrysler Intrepid, and I had the detachable faceplate. Tinted windows, detachable faceplate. So them shits was knocking in the car. So. So I was riding all over the city with this thing, man. I like that album was almost on repeat, man. Like, but I remember Top Back and Front Back were the two where I was just like, yo. And I remember I had to look at the production because back then you didn't have the Spotify. You had to go open the linear notes. And I'm looking back and I'm like, yo, man, there's like Manny Fresh. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm that's like, yo, I mean,
Manny Fresh is doing stuff outside that you didn't even realize. Because, probably shouldn't have been. I don't know. Like, they weren't big enough that they mattered back then, were they? I don't remember. I don't think so.
No, I mean, he was, like I said, he was known, but he wasn't known as like a big, like he wasn't on the level of like a Timberland and all these guys.
Not
put him there, but it was like
they started going, then it mattered. But like, I don't remember. Like, I'm trying to think of to the dates like that. I honestly, I don't remember.
No, he was, but like he was. It's an underrated fire record. The production is incredible, and the chorus is catchy. Like all of it, it all works. All of it works. The other one was Why You Wanna, because for our generation, anytime you use a Crystal Water sample, you're gonna win.
No, I'm saying the way he flipped it was good because it's like, oh, I remember that. Oh, this beat's coming in. Like, all right, like it was nice. It wasn't doing too much. It was just nice and there.
It was smooth.
Yeah,
it worked. It definitely worked. But like, I'm going to talk to the people like the younger generation who may be listening or watching this. Listen, man, house music was very important to us. Okay. House music was very important to us, especially 90s house music. Early 90s house music was. I mean, they still play it today.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was that timeless.
They're sampling these songs today to make their current song. That's how good it was. How influential it was. And
Crystal Waters was at the. If there was a mountain, I'm not saying she was the top apex of this, but she was definitely on the top floor. She was definitely on the peak of the mountain. As one of the flag bearers of like that whole genre, because that song, I think it came out 91. Like, I still remember that song in 7th grade. You heard that everywhere, everywhere. But you were dancing same way. You were like, nobody did. Like, there was nobody on earth who didn't like that song.
Yeah.
So it was smart. Like, it was like that hook got us. It was smart. Like, as soon as you heard it, you were like, to your point, you're like, okay, all right, let's see where we're going with this. It already got your attention. Then it was like, it was smooth. Like he made it work. It was smooth. Mm-hmm. It was very smooth. It was like a little different than, of course, the upbeat house version or whatever. But musically, it was smooth. It
was a song for the ladies, if we're being real here, man. It was a song 100%. For the girls. Yeah, it was like he's had these hard songs on there, but this song was for the girls. It was like it make you feel good in the car.
100%. Made for radio was like know what he was doing with it, but it worked. It definitely worked. And it didn't compromise the style or anything like that either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know
I mean, it didn't compromise him. Like,
that's
it wasn't like, oh, this guy's reaching for a radio.
T.I. didn't make stuff that compromised on from the South, or I'm a hard battle rapper. I used to sell drugs or whatever he's talking about before. He didn't make songs. They're like, dude, what are you doing right now? There's a lot of artists that sold out, and you're like, dude, what the hell? T.I. never did that. He had songs that represented him that you feel like, oh, this is a good song for T.I. This makes sense for T.I. And he wasn't doing songs. The labels like, you have to do a song with Britney Spears right now for this. We need to get a song on the top 40 radio. Like, he was doing those. He's doing stuff that made sense for him. And I think that's one of the reasons why, like, because he didn't blow like some of these other artists did, because he didn't do that stuff. He was just doing, this is good for me. This is my area. I'm comfortable in this box, and I'm still going platinum, so it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I say there's people selling out back then, it was people selling out, man. They're selling out. It was madness. Honestly, it was madness. But
like I said, this song wasn't a reach. Like, it definitely wasn't a reach for him. It was definitely like you messed with this song. Like, it was. It was dope, man. Like I said, it was a nod for our generation too. So I think that's why we messed with it a lot. But it definitely worked for all areas. Like, everybody loved it. And you're right. It was a woman's. The song was made for the ladies, but it worked for us too.
Yeah,
it worked for us too. Whatever gets us on the dance floor. You know what I mean?
Facts, man. Facts.
But it works.
About facts.
No, it definitely works. And then the other song for me was, again, there was a lot you could choose from, because the one you were talking about with the Just Blaze, what was the one you mentioned again? I'm trying to remember now.
I'm talking to you. That's the
I'm
one
talking to you. Yeah,
he's got a little flipping all these guys, man. He bodied them.
Yeah. No, it was fire. But I told you so. Keo,
okay.
Listen, I can't say exactly the reason why I love that song so much, but it takes me back to the Intrepid. Takes me back to the Intrepid. I used to blast that song so loud. That beat was just so heavy. it was like trunk rattling, but it was so dope. And then the way he rapped on it, I'm like, yo, this song is. I'm like, and it was at the end of it was towards the end of the album too.
Second last song, I think.
Yeah, so it's like these at this point now, it's like you're kind of getting into filler area where it's like we're gonna throw in we might throw in like one more dope track, but the rest of it might be a little bit of fillers. No, man, he was still even the quote unquote fillers. Yeah, like this was still dope. Yeah, this was still dope. Like we even listened, like going back and doing the research and playing this album. Like I just replayed it one time, and I was like, that one I still ran back like 2-3 times. I just thought that song was dope.
No, it had a good feel.
I forgot who even produced that. Was it Jason? I want to say it was Jason. Was it Jason Getter? I think is his partner. I think, or was it two? I'm gonna look it up right now as we're talking. I can edit this part.
Keith Mack. He did
Jason Getter. Yeah, his partner for Grand Hustle.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he did a few. He did a few too on this album too, where you're like, oh, he did this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like no, this was definitely solid. This is 100% solid. But that album, I mean, that song to me was pretty fire. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I know it's not the conventional track that you would think of because it was bigger hits, but that one to me, and like I said, I love the Just Blaze produced tracks on there too. But this song for me was like, I remember being like, yo, I used to ride this song heavy. Heavy because I used to make my trunk rattle, man, and not like a bad rattling. It was like it was just perfect. Like the sound engineering on that was just phenomenal.
The bass on his album, all of them, they had solid bass on there. Like he respected you got to put some bass on something. There's a lot of artists like you could say like Jay-Z. He didn't really have bass heavy stuff. Like it's just like his mix good, but it wasn't bass heavy until he did stuff with Timberland and some other people, and he had bass on there. But like generally, he wasn't really like that. Biggie wasn't like that either. But like this stuff here with the South, this is why I love the South because of the bass stuff, and they added it to it. Like I was thinking about like this for production in the East Coast. There would be like one kick that was the bass, and that would be it. Like we're done here. We're done here. And that would be enough. And it wasn't really the focus of the song, whatever. It's just there. Like just fill in the vibe a little bit. But like the South was like, no, the whole thing's bass. Like that's it. And because East Coast wasn't really about putting the subs and stuff in your car. That was a South thing, man. That's that. I got that from
West Indian thing.
Yeah,
that was a West Indian thing.
Yes, that's the West Indian thing.
Yeah,
I was Jamaican, everything. That's the everybody thing. All the islands contributed to we got to throw something in the trunks up there. Yeah.
Yep. Take your factories out.
Right? They got to come out.
You couldn't even pack the trunk. You couldn't even use it. The trunk was like useless. You couldn't even use the trunk.
Half your trunk is gone because you got a big basement in there. Yep. Like, didn't even make sense. But it doesn't matter what car it was. You're putting the basement in there. That's just a fact of life, man. That's our culture, right? Got to represent that. You separate. That's our culture.
and honestly, that's the when I think of like the South and like say like even this album or that song in particular, that's like you're thinking about like you're almost thinking of yourself in like an old school on 24. It's like this is what the beat would sound like coming out of something like that, right? Like it was kind of made for that candy painted, you know what I mean? Like old school 73 joint on some 24 spinning rims. You know what I mean? Windows tinted down. Yeah, like this stuff. This album was kind of made for that kind of sound too. As much as it was made for everything else, it was he didn't forget Atlanta and the sound engineering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how you did it, man. Everybody had stuff down their cars down there. When I had to visit around that time, man, I'm like, yo, who doesn't have a sub in their car? Grandmas, old ladies, the better. Everyone got a sub in their car. Somebody put something in there. Whatever it was, and everything sounded clean too. But yeah, that's just how they did it, man. And I respect them for it.
So what is what you know a forgotten classic, or is it rated properly?
Ooh, that's a good question. Sorry, I'm getting a cold. It's for sure it's a classic. Like there's no question about it. It's a classic. I think it's one of those classics now that people forget about until they hear it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah. That's what we're doing right now." You know what I'm saying? Like, especially because a lot of trap and stuff like that now is just so forgettable. It's just blah. Trap music is terrible. I hate from the bottom of my heart. I hate trap music, and it has no soul to it. You can interchange any rapper with it, and it's not like, oh, that's so and so song. It all sounds the same. It's not because of
all sounds the same now.
It all sounds the same. Sonically, it sounds the same. You play all these songs in the club, and they all sound the same. You could throw any rapper on them, and it doesn't change the song up. The stuff, at least you can say that with crunk. There's certain people that couldn't rap on a crunk song. Like, I love Ice Cube, right? Ice Cube struggled to rap on the crunk song.
Yeah.
He struggled. It was a rough go. And like Biggie on a crunk thing would be bad. It would have been a rough go. Right?
Nas struggled.
Nas
struggled. A couple songs with Lil Jon.
Yeah, he struggled. He couldn't figure out what the tempo, how to do it. Because there was a way that you had to write it. And I think culturally, people from the South, they figured it out. They knew what they were doing. Like Mobb Deep did a song with Lil Jon, and I remember when I heard that song, I was like, I would take my headphones off. What are we doing right now? Like, what is this? What are we doing with our lives right now? It's time to sit this thing down. I was so mad about that, man, because I was doing a boycott at the time, and I was just like, dude, this doesn't make sense. What are you doing? It didn't fit right. And
they're trying to ride the wave.
Yeah, they're trying. Everybody was like, "Oh, Lil Jon's big. Let's just get on it." And I love Mobb Deep, right? I love them. I'm a huge fan of them. From the beginning, I'm a huge fan of them. And when I heard that Lil Jon song, I was like, "Oh, come on, man! No, it's not you, man. Don't do it." And this is the thing: it doesn't fit everybody the way like the trap thing is now. Like everybody sounds the same on it. Doesn't matter what it is. The beats are the same. There's nothing sonically to it. Just it's all the same. Where with the crunk stuff, you had to hit that beat a certain way. And if you didn't hit it right, it was ugly, man. It was people forget how many people did songs with Lil Jon when it started blowing. So many artists tried. And it was a car crash, right? It was an ugly car crash, man. For a lot of them,
the
right?
beat saved them.
You're being generous right now, dude. I know you a long time. You're being generous. It was a car crash, man. It was ugly. And the thing, like I have family in the South, so I was down there a lot. So I heard a lot of this stuff, man. And I was just like, it doesn't fit everybody, man. You can't. I think it's a cultural thing. From being from Atlanta, like it doesn't make like just like the music from New Orleans, like the booty shaking music, whatever it is. I forgot what it's called.
That's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. There's certain like Drake is one of the few rappers that can hop on the thing and it'll be fine. He's one of the few modern day current rappers that can hop on a thing and it'd be fine. Wayne is another one. Doesn't matter. He can hop on a thing, but he's from there, so I don't think that counts too much, but like there's very few artists.
Home court advantage.
Yeah, he's on home court. Yeah, that's a good example. But like there's very few artists that can hop on this thing and just make it go and it sounds right. And it hurt, man. It was a long when we got through that time frame when Lil Jon was banging, like it was an ugly time for music because it didn't make sense what these guys are doing. But like T.I, because he's from there. He's from Atlanta. This is his thing. This is hometown advantage. You can't get around that. And even for a guy who doesn't rap on that type of stuff all the time, when he did, it was fine. Because his home court advantage.
Fine,
It's in the bones, man.
Yeah.
I was getting to a point eventually, but that was my point. He got there. I would say this, though. The Tahiti's kicking in right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you landed the plane.
I landed the plane. I got there, man. I'm slightly buzzed right now, but I'm not gonna say how many I've had.
It's all good. It's all good. Podcast after dark.
In the dark, yo.
No, but you know what though? It's funny because this album, not this album, but this song is, to your point, it's forgotten. It's a forgotten classic. Because I mean, back in 2006, shout out to DJ Toom because once that sound hit the airways, that intro hit the airways, it was like, yo, what? It was one of those like, yo, what the hell is this? Oh my gosh! Because
you know what it was going to be.
It was, because it's funny because it's like he said he's the king of the South, but like that was like when you heard that song, it was like a soundtrack to the throne. It was throne music,
anthem, man.
Basically,
he was like 3 or 4 anthems on this album. But that was an anthem for the South.
That was an anthem.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
That the amount of times people put that song on repeat and just drove around a block or whatever at the mall, like that was an anthem.
No, you had to play that. You had to play that. It was honestly, it was one of those when it's what's the word? Like it was a classic the moment you heard it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't one of those where like it took time to like warm up to you. No, it was like as soon as you heard it, you were like, yo, yo, T.I made it. Like this song is out of here.
Yeah,
the song is out of here. And it's funny because I was gonna say it doesn't have a like looking back on it now, it's interesting to see because like it doesn't have a lot of replayability, if that makes sense. Which doesn't make sense because the song was like we know it's a classic. Everybody who hears it, even to this day, knows it's a classic. Yeah. But you don't hear that a ton of places.
They don't play
which is kind of weird at the same time. You hear other songs from that genre.
Like people don't play it unless they're aiming to play something from that time frame. People just don't play it. But it was a song that when it comes on and that bass kicks in, like the trumpets, you're like, oh, okay. Like you remember instantly, like I remember what I was doing when the song came out. But like I just remember Caravana and these guys, the dudes were driving it down Young Street and they were playing it. When it came out, that year it came out. A bunch of dudes were playing like in a row. There's a bunch of cars that playing in a row. And I was what is this? That was wild, man. Because right when it came out, I think it was the first single. And a bunch of people were playing it over and over. Like it was a big deal. It was a very big deal. Yeah. And it was fire, man. There's no question about it. I think it was forgotten.
The song was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he won a Grammy for it, I believe, for best rap solo performance. Like he won a Grammy for it. Same thing. The video was fire, but like this to me, it was especially in 2006 because 2006 was like officially the year of the South, right?
Yeah.
Because you had like the Outkast was like we didn't know it at the time, but they were winding down, even though we didn't know it at the time yet. Little John and them was kind of winding down a little bit. Ludacris was kind of winding down a little bit. Like he's coming off their prime. Like they were still putting out stuff. It was still really good. It just wasn't at the height as it was maybe like 2-3 years before. But like this is where Lil Wayne was starting to really bubble. This is when Young Jeezy was coming into. This is when Rick Ross started to come in. Like I said, Lil Wayne was like the mixtapes were crazy. The Gangsta Grill mixtapes with DJ Drama. That's like all this stuff was happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And then T.I was like, again, he was like at this point in time, he was the guy. And that song was like the flag. That song was like the flag on top of the mountain, like, boom, we are here. Mm-hmm. We're not going anywhere. And matter of fact, we're taking this genre over. And they never gave it back.
Yeah. No,
they never gave it back.
Like you said, there's a lot of artists that were out in 2026 or 2006. It was a lot, man. Yeah. There was a lot of artists that he had to go through to put it. This album came out in March. That's that makes sense. Yeah, it was in March. So like he basically the summer. This was his summer with this song. It was particularly this song. It was it was a giant big deal. It was a very big deal. And the fact that it's forgotten right now is kind of sad, man. Like it's one of these songs that was weird. So good, man. I don't get it. I think he got overshadowed from something. I can't remember what it was. Something else came out that year, and he kind of got overshadowed because of it. I gotta look it up.
Yeah,
something else came on.
But it's interesting because of like it doesn't make sense because the song's not dated either. You know what I mean? Like you can play that now, and like I said, but you still get a response from it.
Yeah,
but it's just weird. It's like it's a weirdly forgotten classic, and there's no real explanation as to why. We don't. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not like I said. It's not. It's like the replayability isn't a lot. But if you play the song now, you're gonna listen to it twice.
Yeah.
But like it's just you don't hear it when you go through certain sets and stuff. You don't hear it. You'll hear some of Lil Wayne's bigger songs. You hear Rick Ross bigger songs and everything. But like, and then on top of that too, and we're gonna move to this point in a moment. But like on top of that too, this song especially was connected to the movies, connected to ATL.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So,
so
between
right. That came out then too. Yeah.
Yeah. So between ATL and this song and this album, like T.I was like he was going to another level. He was going to another stratosphere right now. And but again, like when you talk about like classics of like this, the last 25, 26 years, especially in that time, this song is on the list. You have to put it on there. It's his biggest song. It was like it's a certified, like no question it's a classic, but like you can't explain. I try to sit there and figure out like, okay, why isn't this song bigger? I sat there and literally scrapped there with my notes, sitting there like, okay, is it this reason? Is it this reason? And I can't come up with a reason as to why. It's weird. This is a weirdly forgotten. It's just one of those songs that's weirdly forgotten, even though it's great.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to figure out what was out then. He had Bow Wow. He had Ludacris, Chingy, Young Jock, Nelly. There's a bunch of stuff out around that time. But
none of them was bigger. I mean, you had like the Franchise Boys and all these people coming out and stuff, but those songs still wasn't as big as that record.
No.
But for some reason, you'll hear it's going down, or you'll hear like the Franchise Boys before you hear that, which is weird.
Jeezy, Kanye, 50 Cent was then too. Game. There's a lot of stuff down right then around that time, right around that time. 2005, 2006. There's a bunch of stuff. A ton of competition.
Yeah, 2005 bled over a little bit.
Yeah. Like
2005 bled over a little bit to that time. So.
Yeah. Because
Kanye
was Gold Digger was October 2005. Jeezy had Soul Survivor then. Nelly. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like there's other stuff that took away from it for some reason. But like I like that song better than those songs, if I'm being honest, because it wasn't like in 100%. The club or anything like that. They were like it was good songs, but wasn't that like it wasn't culturally stop what you're doing and put the song on right now kind of thing.
Yeah,
at least for me.
That's what I said. For the importance of the South movement, this song was like it's on the upper echelon. It's on the upper echelon with the most important songs for this era. That like literally like it's put a stranglehold on hip hop, and like I said, they never gave hip hop back again. It's been like at least a good solid. It's been 20 years basically.
Yeah,
it completely changed the era of music after that. But I'm like it's just interesting to me that this song is like as big as it is. It's like we just coming from a DJ perspective, coming from a promoter perspective, it's like you don't really hear this song a lot. It's interesting.
It's interesting, man. And I never thought about it like that. Just when I was going back and listening to the album before the pod, I was like, I remember the songs. I remember what I was doing around this time, but I couldn't. I'm trying to think about why this song didn't it didn't have longevity. I shouldn't say it didn't take over. It did take over, but didn't have longevity after. But I don't know why it was, because T.I.'s second album, or fourth album was by this time, third album.
Yeah, I think
Tip versus T.I. That was 2007. So like this led into that.
Yeah, so that was after.
Yeah, it was after, and he had big songs on that too. But like this song was like the anthem for the South. The rest of the country was like, we like the song, and then we put it away. We're listening to 50 Cent now and whatever else, Kanye. But like for the South, that was the anthem. And I think that it kind of, I don't know, it didn't have longevity that it should have had. Because like you still, when you listen to it today, you get the emotion listening to it, like when you first heard it. That's how I hear it. It bumps the same way. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know.
Yeah. It's odd, man.
That's interesting. Man.
Well, here's my final question, at least for the T.I. part of it. This is a funny question to ask, but like, did T.I miss his window to be a bigger star? Because I think absolutely he did.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to act too, so he was doing stuff. He's doing other stuff than rap. Because like this, is Paper Trail his biggest album, or is the Tip versus TIP?
No, I think. Well, this was his biggest album, I believe.
King's the biggest album. Okay.
Well, the most popular, like probably the best one, I would say for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like as far as sales, Billboard sales.
I'd have to check. I know Paper Trail was huge though.
Yeah,
that was like right after the time he kind of came out of jail
big.
And all that.
Swagger Like Ghost was on there. There's a bunch of stuff was on there. I got to look this up now. Like that's what's bothering me.
Yeah, but the reason why I say absolutely to me is because think about it. At that time, right? You had King album. You had the ATL movie, right? And he was this album and that song was attached to his first role as an actor, and it was on a pretty big scale. And this wasn't like the straight to DVD hood movie / like, this is gonna sell on the street for $5 kind of joint. Like this had a real budget. Yeah. You know what I mean? There was some pretty known actors in the movie. There was a good storyline, plot line. I think Chris Robinson was his first movie that he directed outside of doing videos. But you watched the movie and it was like, okay, this movie wasn't crap. Like this movie was actually pretty good. The quality was high. You know what I mean? I've never been to Atlanta, but you kind of got a sense that it kind of grasped the essence of Atlanta in the movie from some of the characters, the way they spoke and their accents and stuff. And, Big Boy was in this too. But like, when you look at like Atlanta, for example, like to me, it was interesting because you're like, okay, like he's kind of like T.I.'s going somewhere with this. Like this is interesting. You know what I mean? Because this is more than just like him rapping in the King of the South stuff. Not to say acting. I mean, acting does put you on to a next level. But I'm like, to me, it was a pretty good star turn in terms of that movie. Like if ATL comes out on TV right now and I'm not doing anything, I'll watch some of it. I'm not saying it's like the best movie in the world. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, but it wasn't, especially coming from where he was coming from. This was a movie with a budget that didn't suck.
Well,
so you're like, yo, this is not bad.
The thing that yanked the paper trail from underneath him and made him fall down was the police thing, right? The whole snitching thing that ended. I would say ended. It derailed his career as far as where he was going. I 100% believe that. But I'm looking it up right now. Paper Trail did 4 million, and King did 2.
Okay, yeah. So that was his biggest.
Paper Trail was the biggest one.
Okay.
Yeah. And everything else was like 1 or 2.
You're right, because they had some big songs. And I remember he had to come with big songs after that whole thing, right?
Yeah, he was like, though I can still rap, guys. Like I'm still good here. Yeah. No, that did it for him. That was it, man. Because but it's versus T.I. they only did platinum. It was still number 1.
Yeah, but think about this though, right? Like, it did numbers. But think about this though too, right? Like even for that movie, I went to the theaters to watch it, and I was like, yo, this isn't bad. Like I think it was like a movie date or whatever, and I was like, yo, this isn't bad. And then he jumps on to go on. I mean, it wasn't a big part, but he still got on a bill with Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe for American Gangster, right?
Yeah. He's in that. He did a bunch of stuff. He's in a bunch of roles.
He gets to that point. You're like. You're like, this is interesting. And then Grand Hustle, I mean, they did the record label thing where they had some artists like Young Dro and different people and stuff. Didn't they have Iggy Azalea or something? At a certain point? I think they did. I think he actually did have Iggy Azalea.
Maybe. I can't remember. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he did. So I mean, he did the regular, record label imprint and stuff.
Yeah.
But then when they jumped on and did their own movie, when they did Takers, right? Like when they did Takers, I don't know if you've seen Takers, right?
Takers. That's not a theater.
Yeah. Like, I saw the premiere for that. Like, I think Chris, he did the premiere for that at the time. Takers wasn't bad.
Takers was great.
Like this was their own movie on their own budget. It was a Hollywood movie, and I'm like, I'm like, yo, this was
That
actually
cast-
pretty
that
good.
cast was very
And I'm
good.
not saying like T.I.'s not a thespian. Don't get me wrong, T.I.'s not a thespian, but he was not holding the cast back with his acting.
That was the Chris
He
Brown
just
was
played
it.
himself, but like he
Anakin
wasn't holding it back.
Skywalker was in it. They had a bunch of people there. It was a good cast. It was a very good cast.
Yeah, that was good. Matt Damon, like it was a good, like straight up, it was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, underratedly, the Chris Brown police scene, like that I mean, especially considering that he's rumored to have done his own stunts with that. I'm like, if that's true, that was pretty impressive.
It was pretty good. That was a great.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, like I think. Well,
yeah, like
for him, he's like, I think for the movies he was doing, like, he kind of typecast himself as criminal or criminal adjacent. Like that's like that. He's doing that for a lot of the movies, and so like there's certain types of things that he could be in. There was another movie he's in that's like it was like a popular movie that he's like it wasn't like a bounty hunter. He's like a police or something. I forgot what it was, but like he did stuff, right? He did stuff, but I think that the thing that derailed him was when they found the guns. And he had explained the thing with the guns, and that just it looked bad. It left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. All right, if we're being real here,
who did he snitch on? I'm trying to remember that part. Who did he snitch on?
It was like one of his boys or something like that. I think they were about to go do a hit on somebody. It was the story is crazy, and the story's changed, or the official version of the story. All I remember was he got hemmed up with a car full of guns. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that part. The things in between and how this got here and whatever. And the funny part was he had that thing with the police and about why snitching's okay. You remember that? He had a thing. He had to film a video in Atlanta.
I can't remember that.
No, he had to shoot a video in Atlanta about why it's okay to talk to police. When I say it was bad, this was bad. This was bad. People were like,
"Yeah, that wasn't great."
T.I.'s on TV right now. He's a WGN. Like, what the hell? Like, it was bad. It didn't go over well. People did not like that.
That was properly mandated by the courts.
Yeah. They made him do it. He didn't want to do it. He made him do it.
He's doing a PSA. That was absolutely mandated.
PSA, and I remember it did not go well. People had a problem with that, especially people from the South. They had a problem with that. And like because the South has got the hustler type people, and people that are adjacent to things, people moving stuff. They're adjacent to that, and they did not like. T.I. had a rough go of it for a while, and the thing that was fortunate for him was this was before Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. If this thing happened today, I don't know how he would have survived it. Because like, look, it's out of people's minds already about what he did, what happened. Yeah. But I just remember it was a car full of guns, big boy guns, and he didn't go to jail. Everybody's like, this don't make any sense. Why is T.I. not in jail? That's that. I remember that. That's the one thing I remember.
He took a hit, and honestly, you know what though? It's funny because. Like when he got booked for, I think he was trying to buy guns from some federal agent or something like that. I think it was something like that. Like he got booked that way, trying to buy it looked like he's trying to buy like an army load full of guns. He's trying to be like Rambo ×5.
Yeah, but something. Here's the thing.
But the
guns
thing is with him,
in Atlanta, you can get a gun
in Atlanta. Yeah. But the thing is, I understand him in the sense of. His star power now is Star Turner's rising at this point. So is the level of haters. Because if you remember, he was doing a tour, he did a show, and the haters went and shot up his van, and one of his boys died, unfortunately.
Yeah. You guys,
he shot the tour bus, and as one of his best friends died in that hit.
Which again, I have no problem with him getting it. I totally understand that happened, but the thing about it was when the police were involved, they couldn't explain how he's not in jail right now. There's no good explanation for it. And then he never admitted to it. And something happened where like they couldn't explain it. Somebody went down and they can't explain it. But like he never came out and said, yeah, I talked to police, like whatever. But he made a video. He made a PSA saying to talk to the police. And everybody's like, what in the hell?
But was it a situation where, like, you're the top guy, you're making movies and you're on Hollywood's radar now, like it's to a certain level because you've made a movie. You think it could be a certain point where it's like, yo, Keo, I'll get you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take this one from me. I got you.
This is possible. Everything's possible. Like he had a lot of money to lose for sure. And he had a lot of people were trying to go after him. So because here's the thing. When you do I'm the king of whatever, people like they get salty about it, man. It's like Belly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's mad. Yeah, you're on top right now. Your best friend's mad at you kind of thing. That's what you're dealing with. And he had that for sure. I know for a fact he had that for sure. People in the South are trying to get him. And salty people were in the South. They're trying to get him. Chilling on their porch, like just mad all day. Because he's doing it. He was doing it for sure. So I get it. I totally get why it happened. I don't know how he got out of it. That's the question. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a criminal, and I'm not promoting being a criminal. I'll talk to police all day. I don't care. Like, I'll file a report. What do you want to tell my name about it? Like, what you want me to do? Like, I'm not in the streets, man. It is what it is. I got no problem with that. For T.I has a story about don't talk to the police. Don't do this because I'm a hustler, rubber bands or whatever. Like, it's saying like it's more complicated for him. For me personally, I have no issues, man. Officer Johnson, come on down. I got some tea for you, whatever you want. Want some coffee? Like, I'm trying to live right now. I'm just saying, like, that's what it is. It's what it is, man. It's what it is.
No, but it's funny because, like, I think the first album after that, to your point, like Paper Trail sold millions, and that was obviously that was a success. But I feel like it did take some shine away from him, and it kind of put him on the sidelines a little bit. And it was just that pause was enough for Lil Wayne and Rick Ross to come and pass him. Yeah, it's kind of like, you bobble the baton, the baton, and all of a sudden it was like you still finished, you medaled, but it's like you ended up in third, but you should have been in first.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, or at least second.
It affected his career severely because these guys they had no room to come in until this thing happened, and he had a little bit of space between the albums. That's the other thing. Like, there's a lot of space between these albums. I think Paper Trail is 2008, and then No Mercy is 2010. Like and then Troubled Man came out after. He's doing a lot of explaining on that, and that's 2012. There's space because he was like knocking stuff out immediately before then. So it made room for all of these things to come out and exist, and they did well too, which is the other problem because they, down the South they weren't doing that great. They did regionally okay. They were doing well across the country. And that was the factor. And I think some of that is because T.I paved the way for it, and they took the formula, or the space was just open because everybody's ready for that kind of stuff then. But regardless, his space made this possible because he was going through criminal issues. Because he couldn't really tour. He couldn't do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It affected
him.
Yeah. He couldn't be around certain people. There's a bunch of things, man. It affected it.
And that's the thing. It's like, I want to be clear. It's like he didn't fail. Like, he still came out on the other side. He's still very successful. But you feel like because it's almost like I said, when you bobble the baton and it's like you end up in third, it's like, you medaled, you got some money, you got endorsements, you got all that stuff, but a part of you is still like, oh God, I should have that gold medal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a part of you still feels like I should have finished in first.
Yeah. It's like it's like you're on the bench and your team doesn't go to the playoffs this year, but if you were there, you would have won. That's kind of like what it was for him. Like if he was be able to go out, and the thing is too, like culturally. People, the black community is very superstitious, and they're very they believe rumors, and so like a lot of this stuff affected him worse than it should have. And because people don't know the real story about what happened. Like it's vague about what happened. People have impression about what happened, and that's enough to be like, this is what happened. And same thing with Michael Jackson. People's version of events is what made this thing real to them versus what actually happened. And it's the exact same situation here. No one has the full story about what happened to him, but like they looked at him sideways because of it. And he had to put out some fire music for them to be like, T.I.'s all right. and then doing his reality TV show and all this other stuff. But like, it took a lot of stuff before people were like, okay, whatever. That's fine. People snitch all the time. Like it took a while for that, man. Like realistically, it was a moment before everyone was cool with him again.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a big deal.
It was a big deal. It derailed him a bit.
Yeah, I've been talking about my friends in the South, and they're like, T.I, I can't listen to this music anymore. I'm like, why? Like, what difference does it make? But like, a lot of people were like, I can't listen to T.I, man. That guy's bum. He's snitching. He's dry snitching and stuff. Yeah, it took a while. But it was when I say it was real, it really affected his thing worse than it could have.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, think of where you're coming up. So like again with Grand Hustle, you went from an imprint to now you're doing movies. You know what I mean? Like I said, if one of us got to take the fall, I'm like, Keo, my man, bro.
Yeah.
I got a bag waiting for you when you get out.
Right?
Hold me down.
Anything's possible. That's what happened to him, man. Anything's possible. Somebody had to do the thing. Hold on to this. We get you out when you come out. When you get out, man, you get your bag. You can buy your Ferrari.
I got you, and you got my Maybach when
right?
you're out. Like I'll see you in 2 years. I got you.
That's what people
Maybach
do,
full
man.
of money. I got you.
This a real thing. That's what people do, man. They're like, yo, you gonna take this bid from me when you come out? You'll be all right. I'm gonna take care of your family when you're in there.
But the problem is usually when you do that, the train keeps moving, but the train stopped. It didn't keep moving.
Factor too, yeah. It's slow. I would say it's slowed down. Keep moving.
It definitely slowed down. And it's funny. This question I'm thinking of right now. How much do you think? Because he's like he knows how to make good songs and good music on a hip hop scale. How much do you think that influences from his wife, being that she's a behind the scenes huge songwriter? I'm just thinking of this now, but like I'm sure she played a little bit of a part in that too.
That's possible. Like he's close with her, man. That's possible for sure.
Yeah. And I'm not saying she helped him write lyrics. Don't get me wrong. It's nothing to do with that, but it's just structure, right?
You don't have to be in the studio to be like, do this. You could be at home making food and home and something, and you're like, oh shoot, man, I got to put this in the song. That's the same thing. It's the same level of it. So I mean, anything's possible with that for sure. Because she is talented. She's a bum. Yeah, she's talented.
Like she's a legendary songwriter.
Yeah.
She's a legendary songwriter. She knows how to put songs together.
Yeah.
I mean, this is outside of Escape.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Candy, right? Like it was them two that was doing a lot of writing
and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm sure, like I said, in terms of structure, song structure, I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? Like they've had some conversations where he maybe thought of some stuff a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I think they were together when he was on this run, right?
They've been together a long time.
She was with him for a long time.
They've been together a long time.
It's like, they've been a long time. So I think she was definitely with him during this run. So I'm just saying the way you think about certain stuff, it's like you may think about, you may not think of it like the average rapper, which he didn't, as you could tell from the music. The music was high quality. Right. So you kind of wonder like how much of an influence that was too.
I mean, it's a factor, man, because I will say this with T.I, a lot of his music has soul. And so, your wife's in a singing group, like that probably could have added to it. It's possible. I don't want to give her all the credit, but it's possible that he picked up.
No. Yeah, I'm saying it's a bit of an influence. I'm not going to take his songwriting skills or his rapping. Like
you get writing
I'm
credit.
not taking none of that away from him. That's him.
Like, we're not doing that. But like for sure, that's something.
Yeah, like I ain't doing that. Like he did. Tiny's not ghostwriting his lyrics stuff like that. But it's
yeah.
we know that. We know that. But
that's
but
fair.
in terms of structure, I'm like like it doesn't hurt to have that kind of influence, right?
I would say this.
You know,
If you got a good girlfriend or a wife when you're being creative like this and writing music, it is helpful, man. It is very helpful. When you got strain on your life when you're trying to write, that's also helpful too, surprisingly. But it's better when everything's good. You have harmony in your house. That's helpful. You'll realize how good it is to have some peace there. So, I mean, it's possible.
Super
for
sure. Fact. Super fact. Super fact.
Yeah.
Am I being realistic? You said all night.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, though, man. Obviously, there's a phenomenon going on. On top of T.I. and some of these hip hop, quote unquote vets that are showing another example of how they're killing the new school right now with some of their songs, and like Juvenile on that Megan Thee Stallion song is it's
fire.
But fire. But with that said, let's add another legend to the scene, because as we're recording this, of course the Michael Jackson movie's out. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I don't think you have either.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either.
But the funny thing is, I'm not saying I'm not in a rush to watch it, because I am going to watch it with the family probably in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I want.
But with that said, I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to see it. So I want to watch it in the theater. Like, I don't want to watch it. You know what I mean? I want to watch it in the theater. But what I want to say though is like, it's interesting, because I'm not in a total rush to see it, because I mean, look, we grew up in the Michael Jackson era. Like, there isn't much that I don't know about Michael Jackson in terms of how they made music, the Jackson move. I mean, we had our own Jackson friggin', remember the mini series that was out in the 90s? Like, we watched that whole shit. So we all watched that. There isn't much that we don't know about the Jacksons and Michael Jackson and stuff. I mean, but with that said, I'm still gonna watch it. But what is your feelings on watching this Michael Jackson Renaissance right now? Dude, I know it's influenced by the movie, but what do you feel about all of this?
I love it. And I love that people are angry about they're wrong, and they're angry about being wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were like, this movie can't be made. No one cares about Michael Jackson. Movie comes out, it's doing well. Then they're like, well, he did all this stuff with the kids. Well, he actually didn't do anything with kids. He's trying to save them. And that stuff is starting to come out now, where all the people that were victims are getting exposed. And like, I'm mad that it took this long for it to happen, but like, I'm glad that a lot of people that are against him or had a vendetta against him are being exposed for it. And I like that he's vindicated for his complaints against Sony and why he had complaints against Sony and Tommy Mottola and all this other stuff with the Columbia. I love that people are like, dude, Michael's right. It sounded bad at the time, and everyone's like, "Oh, I can't believe Michael's saying this. What is he doing?" But like, Michael's right. Michael's fighting on everybody's behalf right now, who turned the blind eye and pretend like nothing's going on. He's fighting for everybody, for the publishing, for your rights, for the song rights and stuff like that. He was fighting this stuff before the 360 deal happened, and made it even 10 times worse. Like the 360 deal is the label has full control over your rights, your likeness, your name, your song. If you say you put out an album and went platinum, and then Michael Bay comes up and says, "Hey, you want to be in a Transformers movie?" The record label gets the money from the movie. You don't get the money. Yeah. You're giving them. They're giving you a percentage of your cut from the movie. That's what the 360 deal is. It's 360. The whole thing goes to the label, and you get nothing. So, like, there's artists that are out right now. They're not grandfathered in. They all got this 360 deal. If you sign a record deal today, you got 360 deal. And, you have your people like Megan Thee. I'm not calling her out because I don't like her or whatever, but I'm saying Megan Thee Stallion is not doing as well financially as she's giving the impression that she's doing because of the 360 deal. And these things that Michael was angry about. These guys are doing publishing and stuff like that. It's bad, but I'm thankful that people have love for Michael Jackson as an artist and as a person again. Because it was dark when he died. The vultures were circling with the bad things about him and the made up stuff about him, and everybody's just going along with it, which is crazy to me. People that knew better was crazy. And I'll say this before I'll go back to you. There's a lot of people that were defending Michael Jackson. There's a guy I follow. He's he follows like rock, like heavy metal stuff. Like he's got makeup on his eyes and stuff like that. This guy made videos about, I'm gonna defend Michael Jackson to my death, right? He's doing videos exposing people. People don't understand the amount of lives that this guy touched. And when people make the argument of, oh, Beyonce is the same level with Michael Jackson. Beyonce didn't have blonde girls from Holland fainting. And the guy, her boyfriend next to him, was like, oh, fainting because Michael Jackson took his sunglasses off. Where's that at? You can type on the internet, Beyonce is the same level, or Drake, or whoever. You can pick any person at random. They're on the same level with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had grown-ups fainting at a concert because he took his sunglasses off. Point me to the person who's doing that. Where they at? Just Michael Jackson's album right now is number 5 on Billboard 200. Number 5. This was number 6. His compilation album is number 6. Just 30 years ago, this album came out. That's crazy. 40 years ago. Think about that.
40 years ago.
40 years ago. This album came out. Billboard, back on top. He's number 1 for streaming on Spotify and Apple Music. Number 1. There's nobody on this dude's level, man. There's nobody.
But think about this though. Like we grew up in the era where Michael Jackson, he wasn't a superstar. He was the galaxy.
Yes.
Like Michael Jackson was the galaxy. You know what I mean? Like I still remember in elementary school, right? Like we all wanted the Michael Jackson. We all wanted Michael Jackson paraphernalia. We all wanted the jacket. My parents gave me the jacket. I got a Michael Jackson belt, but I wore that belt with pride. I wore that belt
right?
every
You'll be like,
yo,
you got a Michael Jackson belt. Everyone's like, damn, man, this guy got a Michael Jackson belt. Yo. The respect was insane.
Yo, that's what? Oh my God. Like I felt like the man. I was like, mommy, please, belt. Put that on. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yo,
yeah.
But I'm like, that to me is and it's funny because I want to sit and say, like, can you imagine if Michael Jackson grew up or came up in the social media era? But honestly, I don't want to ask that because I think that actually downplays the significance of how big Michael Jackson was to even compare it to social media. Like, what will you do in this era? Because it's an insult. Because I'm like, and this is no hyperbole. This guy was bigger than anything that we've seen before since.
Yes.
Like when you're think about this, when you're selling out 100,000 plus venues in the 80s, where like you said, grown people are passing out.
Yeah,
you were selling out stadiums in the 70s with your brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There wasn't. I mean, outside of the 70s, there wasn't like, and maybe probably like from the mid 80s, we went from shows, auditoriums. You know, by the time you got into the 70s, you were doing stadiums. You were doing like arenas.
Yeah.
And then by the time you got to like Thriller, you could only do like football stadiums, or you had to make makeshift like venues for you because it was like the stadiums that they had in the country was not big enough. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like think about this too. Like, I mean, there's celebrities, there's famous. There's like super famous, there's ultra famous, and then there's famous where diplomats and dignitaries and politicians are laying out the red carpet for you anytime you go into their country.
Yeah.
Like if you walk down the street and go to the mall, like you can actually cause a societal chaos event. You know what I mean? Like if Michael Jackson was to land and go to the Eaton Center, it would actually shut down downtown
All of downtown.
Shut down,
this is the thing.
Downtown.
All of downtown. The metro area is done for. The whole thing.
Done.
Not just the strip or this block. The whole downtown of Toronto will be done for. The whole downtown. People are miles away like, oh, Michael's in town. Oh, okay. Well, we couldn't work today. I'm just going to go and be in the area. I don't even have to see him. I just got to be in the area. That's what we're dealing with. When he went to Brazil, they shoot the "They Don't Care About Us" video with the favelas. He's in the heart of that thing, and the gangsters like make way for Michael Jackson. Nobody do nothing. We got security on lock for him. Don't worry about it, Michael. We got you. Nothing will happen while you're down here in our care. Like you got to think about that. The army couldn't even go in there. Michael Jackson gets a pass with real gangsters in Brazil to go shoot a music video. And they made sure everything is safe as humanly possible for him. That's crazy. I don't know anybody who could do that. Anywhere. Like, not even the level of, like, the Beatles or... Beatles just had young girls were fainting. The guys were like, all right, this is okay. Michael had the guys fainting, too. It's a different level. It is not the same. This is not the same. Elvis Presley, he had the people on near the stage were fainting. Michael had people in the back row that can't even see anything. They were fainting. They just heard, oh, Michael's on stage now.
Crying. Fainting, crying.
Crying out there. Men and women crying their tears out. Like, yo, it's not the same. That's the same. Like, it bothers me that people try and compare modern day stuff to like there's an uproar about an artist or whatever. Michael didn't have this technology then. People got into a cell phone, or not, they got into a house phone. They did with the house phone and wait to hear about their tickets on sale someday. And then you got to go call the thing, or you got to stand in line. You can't just go with your app or whatever your phone. Hundreds of thousands of people stood in line to get tickets for this thing. They didn't have StubHub and all this stuff back in the day. You had to wait. And there's no plan. What are you going to do with the tickets going to sell out? Well, that's it. I'm just never going to see him again. Like, that's the level this thing was. The commitment to it. People, I laugh whenever people try and compare him to other artists. I'm like, this is not possible. You can't. The Super Bowl only exists as it is right now because Michael was like, I'm only going to do this show if I can do it like this. That's why it's the thing it is right now. He was number one. He's the first person that did it. They had a marching band before Michael Jackson. This is not a thing. You see the Rolling Stones or whatever as a Super Bowl. Thank Michael Jackson for that. He's the thing that made it a halftime show. Like, it wasn't that. It's a marching band.
So
like,
true.
I can't explain the influence, the amount of people that do stuff differently because of what he did back then. Just like the amount of people that are like, oh, Michael's in town. Oh, I can't do anything now. Like, we just got to wait. Wait till he leaves. Like, dignitaries, president, they have to do that on this guy's behalf. Like, I cannot stress this enough, man. Like, it's just wild to me that anybody could compare this guy to anybody else. It doesn't make any sense.
I won't mention the artist of the person that I had this debate with a couple of years ago. I won't mention the name of the artist. But they were like, yo, this artist is huge, in comparison to like they're like on a Michael Jackson level. And I'm like, listen, this is streaming. Stop it. We went back and forth. And then they were like, yo, this person sold, like 70, I think it was like 60, 70 million albums worldwide. And I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. I said, then I looked it up and I said, guess what? Michael Jackson sold 100+ million albums of Thriller.
Just the one album. You're doing the whole entire catalog makes up to the 60,000. The one album doubles that. The one album. And I remember Bad. Bad was considered a failure to some people because it only sold 70 million copies. They were like, this thing failed. Michael's losing it. 70 million was a failure.
Because he's comparing it. They're comparing it to Thriller.
Like, dude, you can't. You cannot compare this guy to anybody else. Like, it's not. and it's not hyperbole. It's ridiculous on its face to compare anybody else. There's so many things that he invented, or like the super thing of a music video. People just made a music video of them standing in front of their instruments, and it cut to different people singing. That was a music video for the longest time. This guy was cutting stories into his videos. Changed the game. MTV wasn't playing any black artists back then. When MTV came out, it was Depeche Mode and wherever else back then. They were like, oh no, we gotta make room for Michael. We're making room for Michael. Michael exists now. We have to change our entire genre from what we were doing before to make room for Michael, this one guy. They had no intention of ever playing black music on their station. They had to. They didn't have a choice in the matter. Like, you gotta think about how influential this guy was, and then how culturally important he was, and then fix your face to say so and so is just like Michael. Like, yo, it's absurd. It is absurd. You have songs that everybody's heard. Like, you can't point to a person that's like, oh, I've never heard that. You can go in a country. It's like Superman. You go in any country around the world, they would have internet, and they'll know what a Superman symbol is. Same way they'll know who Michael Jackson is. You can't find that in any other country. You pick a random country on a map and be like, you know what Michael Jackson is? Thriller. You can't speak a lick of English. Thriller. Yeah. Thriller. No comparison.
And they do.
Yeah, exactly.
They do the dance. They can still do the dance.
Yeah, this is it's infuriating. The little I know.
But also too though, right? Like the dance culture that's on social media and stuff. You know, that's a huge community, especially like on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah,
dance community is huge, right? Mm-hmm. There's a the guy's name is Salif. I think it's Salif _ Crook Boys that he goes by on Instagram, but I think it's Salif Gouet or whatever his name is, like an African kid from France.
Yeah,
this kid, I follow him on. This is one of the. I don't, I'm not a dancer, but I follow this kid on social media. The kid is the guy is phenomenal, phenomenal, right? This guy's built up his social media base into the millions, and got a sponsorship from from Michael Jordan, from Jordan Brand, all from dancing and doing the moonwalk like Michael Jackson, wearing Jordans. That was his whole stick, dancing like he's an incredible dancer. He's an incredible dancer, dancer. But the guy dances like Michael Jackson routine, and he's doing it in Jordan 1s or the Jordan 2s. He made a whole career off of just dancing like Michael Jackson. Somebody he's never met. He was barely alive when he was in his prime, if he was even alive at that point. So you have people like that's made a whole industry. There's a whole cottage industry of people like that. That's dancing from something that like they weren't even born for, but the music hits them to that degree. Like you got to think too, like this is where this is where I'm like, I never want to be this type of famous, because think about, you're so famous that the stuff that you did, and it could say it's just DJing, or for me, like podcasting, you do something that is so great that, number one, you can't interact with regular human beings for the rest of your life.
Ever again.
Like, you can't go to ever. Like, you can actually never go to, like, you go to Shoppers Drug Mart or you go to CVS in, like, Brooklyn. It's going to, even if you go in the middle, even if you go this time now, it's going to shut down Brooklyn. Yeah. It's going to shut down, like a Shoppers Drug Mart in Scarborough. You know what I mean? Like, even at midnight tonight, you can't. Like when it's to that point, like somebody like Prince, for example, was insanely famous,
super popular. Yeah,
there's stories of Prince still. Yeah, there's stories of Prince still going to nightclubs here and there. I mean, he even did it in Toronto. Yeah, there's a few nightclubs. People used to run into him. I know people that ran into him in clubs here, and they were like, yeah, he didn't really wear disguise, but the way he was dressed, you didn't really know it was him.
Tell. He's like this tall. He's a little guy. Yeah.
Right. But But the point is, as wildly famous as he was, he can at least still sneak into a club.
Yeah, and it wouldn't break the place. Like that story about Michael at the Lakers game where they said to stop the game. They stopped the players playing so Michael could leave safely from the game. That's crazy. And the LA's full of superstars and famous people. It's the Lakers. There's famous people right there. That superstars are sitting in the audience eating the hamburger.
The Lakers are famous.
The Lakers, yeah, I was gonna say they had to shut the game down because he was there. They stopped the game so this guy can safely exit because they stopped everything. People are losing their mind, screaming. And you're gonna sit there with a straight face and tell me so-and-so is just like Michael Jackson. F out of here, man. No, it's not. It's a logical argument for me that it's so absurd that someone says that. It is absurd because we can go back and forth telling stories about how big and famous Michael Jackson is, right? Or how important he was for the culture or for music or whatever, right? We could go back and back just for 2 hours just telling that. People don't understand, especially people that are born recently. Like they're like, oh, this says actress is famous or Sabrina Carpenter, whatever. Like they did a famous thing, whatever. Sabrina Carpenter could put flip flops on and go to Costco and nobody would notice. and she could walk out of there and she could say, hey, everybody, I'm Sabrina Carpenter. And everybody would be like, oh, that's nice. And keep doing what they're doing. If Michael went to Costco, they would have to emboss that place and frame it. And that's the last time that anyone can go into that store again. They're just gonna close that place down, and no one can ever be back in that place again. This is you have to put it in perspective for people. This guy has an album that came out 40 something years ago. It is on Billboard charts right now, in the top 5. And I give it long enough, it'll be number 1. All right. Just give it enough time. It'll be number 1. People are buying. They're printing the album still. From how long ago is that? 1982 or something? They're still printing the album.
More than 40 years ago. Yeah.
They're still printing the album from that time. All right. You cannot. We could say all this stuff and put in perspective for people who are born today because they've seen famous people. You haven't seen famous people. You've seen popular people. You haven't seen famous people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know another person that could shut down a city like that where like people lose their mind and it'll be positive. Because there's people that, like if Trump came to your city, people are like, oh my God, there'll be protests or whatever. But they wouldn't shut down the entire city for it. It wouldn't be that big a deal. Yeah. That little section would be bad. Like, oh my God, that guy was here. But that'll be the end of that. This whole city was shut down wherever he's at. He can't even tell people that he's there. He's got to sneak in and out because if he did, it's pandemonium with people running down the street.
And but Keo, think about this though. Mm-hmm. This was like he was this popular right up until he died.
Yes.
So this is not like something where it's like the I remember Chris telling me my brother DJ Chris Nice. He's telling me this story about how when Michael Jordan was here for the All-Star game, when the All-Star game here was in Toronto. Somebody caught him walking through the Eaton Center, caught him walking through Hudson's Bay by himself. And I'm like, I guess, he was dressed up a certain way. So they didn't realize the person recognized who it was, but like he was walking like that. But like he was a person that at one point in time that was Michael Jackson type famous.
Yes.
But at some point, like he evaded the spotlight enough that he can actually do something like that. You know what I mean? He's still worldly famous.
Yeah,
but he can act at this stage of the game out. He's so removed from playing that, like, you know what I mean? Like now he's older and stuff. People may have, that looks like Michael. I don't know if that's, you know what I mean? So they may leave him alone, especially in this. Like Michael Jackson, up until he died, was still running this. Like he still had this level of fame. Like like when the last thing I'll say is when he was preparing to do that the show, the 50 shows in London before he died. One of my brother-in-laws, him and his boys have bought tickets. They had bought tickets to go to the London show, and I remember they were devastated when he died. because they were like, "Yo, we're going." I think they bought tickets for like at least 2 shows, but they were ready. They were like, "Yo, I'm gonna be in this life as long as I'm on this earth. I can say I want to see a Michael Jackson."
Yeah, no, it's a big deal.
Yeah, like I have to see this. You know, and I remember, I'm pretty sure those concerts were like mostly sold out, or if like, those 50 shows I think were sold out.
Yeah, they were sold
out. The residency that he was having in London.
Yeah. No, they
so
were
I'm like,
out.
And I'm like this again, and and when he passed, I remember, like, I still remember to this day, there was where I was working before, there was a TV on the cafeteria, and this Eastern European girl I used to work with, they showed the funeral, and I was eating lunch in the caf, and I remember they showed, I don't know who was talking, and I remember they showed the casket, and I remember she broke down and cried. She broke down and cried in the cafeteria and had to leave.
This the world. People think of the fame as the local thing in America or the local thing over here. It was like that worldwide. He'd get the same reaction in Africa as he could in London, in like he'd be in Holland, and get the same reaction of people screaming and fainting in the street right there. Like, it's not the same, man. It's not the same level at all. I don't know anybody alive today, or even that was famous like that could get that result worldwide. Because this is the key part about it is people could be like, well, they're famous in America, like Beatles were famous here and London. It was a big deal over there. But they weren't getting that reaction in Australia, or they weren't getting that reaction in, Zimbabwe or whatever. No. Worldwide, he got that reaction of people crying and fainting. Worldwide, from doing nothing, just standing there. There's a video, there's a concert, and I think it's right after Bad, and he's just on stage 5 minutes. This guy just stood there for 5 minutes. People, white ladies just out there like, it's going down for the count. Then security going in there and brushing them out. Like, the whole concert was doing it. I don't know how they had people alive after this thing. He just stood there like this. No music, nothing. Just stood there. People screaming. This is not, I can't stress this enough. It is not the same. This is why I'm saying I'm so happy this movie is a success and is getting his flowers, because he got his flowers and then they tried to sully him, and I'm glad he's getting his flowers again, because he deserves it, man. It's not right. Because when you're that big and famous, everybody's trying to get you. It's a mess, man.
100%. And last thing I'll say is that, going back to the social media dancer, the Salif Gway, he doesn't speak English.
Worldwide. You gotta put that again. Worldwide. There's people in a African tent right now that don't have any internet and no electricity. They know who Michael Jackson is, though. To this day, you can't listen.
To this day,
we could hype this up, and you can say all you want. It's not enough. You can't. Worldwide, this guy catching bodies, man. People fainting, whatever. You can go from that to people know the lyrics. To, I did this party the other day, and I played this remix of Billie Jean, and like the president of the company is like 70, 80 years old. He's sitting at his table eating his food. Billie Jean is not my... Dude, word for word. I was watching him because he's right in front. Word for word. Just tapping his head like this, eating his thing. Billie Jean just eating his fork, whatever. Old dude from Germany. He's not American. He's not Canadian. From Germany. This dude knows the lyrics to the whole song. I was watching him. He's saying the whole song. And just like, dude. He don't know anything that's going on right now, but he knows the lyrics for this song. Like, you cannot, I can't stress this enough. You cannot compare this guy to anybody else. It's not even close. You could, like, Prince, and, like when Rick James was doing his thing, I'm the baddest, whatever. You know, he's not mentioning Michael Jackson. He's not doing that. He ain't seen this guy's name. Everyone else, I'm the baddest, whatever. Michael Jackson. He's not even the same. It's not in the same universe. He knows that. Everybody knows that.
Thank you for checking out the latest edition of the Ave Podcast. Shout out goes out to DJ Keo for hopping on this episode and talking about the 20th anniversary of the King album by T.I, as well as the renaissance of the Michael Jackson phenomenon. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Yeah, we got a couple episodes coming down the pipeline. The NBA Conference Finals is coming through right now. So that first game by Wemby, wow, that was insane. But I expect that series to go a long ways. If you're into basketball, listen to this right now. And then also, yeah, we still gotta break down this Daredevil season 2 of the Born Again series, as well as this Punisher movie, among some other things. So we're gonna get to everything that's coming down the pipeline soon. And I keep saying this, like, winter's coming. Well, we don't want no more winter, but Stoop's coming. So feel like Omar from The Wire when I say that. But Stoop's coming, so stay tuned for that as always. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you for tuning in as always. Make sure you hit the catalog over at southshoreave.com. Once again, that is southshoreave.com. And make sure you leave the comments as well, especially if you love the clips and the episodes that are coming down on your timelines, wherever you're on social media. And you can watch the episode on the South Shore Ave YouTube channel later this afternoon. The full episode will be out probably around 6 o'clock p.m. tonight if you want to watch it. Otherwise, you can listen to it as you are right now. All right? I appreciate you as always for the support. Much love to all of you listening right now. For DJ Keo, this is Cal C. And you just tuned into the latest episode of the Ave Podcast right here on South Shore Ave Radio. All right, until the next one, we out of here. Peace.